because you are that, you are capable, you are gifted, and you are so unique. All of the things that you may hate about yourself are your strengths. It's okay to be soft. It's okay to be opinionated. It's okay to be different. And it's so okay to just be you. The world awaits to receive you.
Y'all already know.
Bitch, I'm back. I'm popular the man.
Hello. Yes. You're here with your host, Grace Levi. Yes. Another improv live. You didn't even know I was going live today. Me either. But I knew I wanted to go live today. Look at my camera. Look at the background. Getting on my damn nerves. Why you want to look like that today? Y'all see my thing? Try to have a little nice background or whatever. We gonna keep looking like that. I don't care until I get it fixed. Whatever. Uncensored enlightenment talk, uncensored background too, obviously. But anyway, you're here with your host, Grace Levi. Ooh, yes. I got the black pat going on. The braid. Itchy. Okay, so today we're basically going to be going into part 4 of the Cardi B versus Tasha K trial. I'm going to name it correctly because it was actually Cardi B that brought the actual case up to the court in regards to defamation and slander and malicious, supported by maliciousness. Okay, so today topic is going to highlight before we're still doing preliminary. Everything that you heard before is even before the case started. So after this live, we're going to actually get into when the case started, and we probably get to look into some evidence. I'm going to share what is I'm able to share, even though Cardi B is not my patient, as I told y'all, and as I do on other lives when I do record documents that have to do with patient information, I will only share key elements in regards to assessment findings. Should I? I don't know about this one. We're going to see what I can share with you as far as the evidence. I don't need that girl going after me. But it is on public information. It's there. We're going to see. I ain't got time for her. She sue me. She ain't getting shit from me. You ain't nothing. Okay. Anyway, like I was saying, today we're going to be talking about Cardi B. And this is the preliminary, phase of it, and motions are being heard. So a motion is allegedly entered by Cardi B sides to delay the court case. So we're going to hear what Olga has to say in regards to this overnight filing and why I believe this is when the judge was getting aggravated with Olga. And I will say how you communicate says a lot. Not only the Fallons, I keep talking about the Fallons is messed up. The Fallons messed up here, but how you communicate means a lot. And I think the judge was just getting aggravated with her. So we're going to add it to the screen. Yes, we do have the auto reader back on. Yes. Okay. I don't care because I'm not about to read all of this. But let's go. We want to start from the top. I just had to go through all of it. I went through all of it already, guys. It's not going to be that long today, but this is actually November 8th transcript proceeding, 2021. The next one is going to be 2022. Obviously, you see this is at the end of the year. So what's going to happen is that we're going to be going into 2022. So it do seem like it was a 3-year process, but I think it's about 2 years and some change because things started actually happening around September, October, and now you see November because the last one was in November. So these are the proceedings. We know this information. We know who Olga is. We know who Miss Mats is. That's Cardi B. So here we go. Let's get it started. So
The court. Yeah. Who's speaking on behalf of the plaintiff today? Am I muted, do you think? Hello? Can you hear me? Who's speaking for the plaintiff today? MS Ismailova, Your Honor. This is Olga Ismailova for the defense. The court. Is there anybody on the line for the plaintiff? MS Mats. Yes, Your Honor. It's Sarah Mats and Lisa Moore for the plaintiff. MS Moore. Good afternoon, Your Honor. The court. All right. Hello. I'm sorry. And who's speaking for the defendant? MS is Maylova. Olga is Maylova.
That's Olga.
The court. All right. I'm sorry. Say your last name one more time so I can hear it again. MS is Maylova.
Is Maylova.
The court is Maylova. All right. Mrs. Maylova. MS is Maylova. Yes, sir. The court. Okay. So the purpose of our call is to discuss a couple of things. The first, most important, is there's been a motion to continue filed by the plaintiff. Let me explain how that came about. And I'm not going to, just so that the plaintiff understands, before I get too far into it, I'm not going to say everything that I know, but I'm going to tell you what I do feel like I can share. The plaintiff, through Ms. Moore, contacted my office late yesterday, maybe mid-afternoon. Actually, it seemed like it was late just because of the time change and all of that, but it probably wasn't really all that late to indicate that the plaintiff had an emergency situation, an illness that was affecting her family, and wasn't explicitly asking for a continuance but was explaining the circumstances and wanted some further direction. The plaintiff was, through her lawyer.
So the plaintiff is Cardi B, okay? So basically she's asking for a delay. Well, allegedly she said she wanted to let the court know that someone was not feeling well in her area or her family, and she wasn't going to be able to possibly come. So she wanted to ask the judge what to do in this situation.
The plaintiff was, through her lawyer, was cautious about or worried, I guess. Maybe is a better term about specifically the circumstances regarding the family illness, and did not want that to be disclosed on the record of our court or to the defendant, and there wasn't specifically what it was. And we didn't have any discussions because I didn't email directly with anybody. The emails were through my...
Okay, so listen to this, guys. This is the actual judge now. He's putting this on record for some apparent reason, trying to basically say, in my opinion, that, oh, I didn't speak to them personally, like as far as off of court communications, because you're not supposed to be contacting the judge on a personal email and doing certain things like that on a personal phone. Everything is supposed to be through the judge's chamber and the secretary. But it's just a little weird that he's putting that on record. So just give you he wanted to highlight the specific circumstances behind this. So let's just listen. It's just a little weird to me, but it seems like somebody's trying to protect their neck.
Maybe is a better term about specifically the circumstances regarding the family illness, and did not want that to be disclosed on the record of our court or to the defendant, and there wasn't specifically what it was. And we didn't have any discussions because I didn't email directly with anybody. The emails were through my office staff and the plaintiff's counsel, Ms. Moore. But I can think of a couple of reasons why. One is that she is a celebrity, and there are certainly outside groups that are monitoring this case. I mean, we received calls last week from groups that are intending to cover this trial. As far as I know, none were from traditional brick-and-mortar type media, but certainly from the new media, YouTube, and things like that.
Hey, there we go. I'm the first official one that's covering this trial correctly. Okay, everybody else, they just giving their opinions, half information. Oh, we going through it. Okay, so I'm the first official one, baby. Let's go. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, we received calls last week from groups that are intending to cover this trial. As far as I know, none were from traditional brick-and-mortar type media, but certainly from the new media, YouTube, and things like that. And so I guess the plaintiff would have concerns about her personal health information of her family being shared. And then also, this case itself is a defamation case where the plaintiff alleges that there have been distortions and untruths said about her and her family by the defendant or defendants, and, obviously, she would not wish that to occur with regard to this event. So I instructed the plaintiff, through my staff, to file a motion for a continuance, and so here we are. A motion for continuance has been filed. So I'll just state for the record, and I will file a document under seal with the court about the specific information, and it will be under seal to be opened only by further order of the court or by order of a higher court, the Court of Appeals or the Supreme Court.
Okay, he says, so I'll just state for the record that I will file a document under seal with the court about the specific information. So when that should not be in evidence. And when it's under seal, Meaning when I go through to see the evidence, that shouldn't be there. So let's see what else, okay? That's what he was saying.
I don't believe that the information that was shared should have to be supplied to anyone because it is information that would generally be, protected. For example, under HIPAA, if we are talking about information that was possessed by medical healthcare professionals. And I would feel the same way about it even if we weren't dealing with a celebrity. I mean, I think people's personal health information is private.
And that's why I have to, when I go over it, I'm gonna have to be because regardless, she's not my patient, but I'm still bonded by the HIPAA regulation as a registered nurse. I still got my license. So guys, whatever I share with you is only gonna be just enough to get some of the information out. If you want to see it, you're gonna have to see it on Pacer. So don't be upset when I can't share everything. It's just because I am under license of the man. I'll get in trouble.
So, in any event, the motion to continue has been filed. And based on what I know about it, I assumed that I would be granting a continuance. But I wanted the plaintiff to file a formal motion because if the defendant had a reason or had a suspicion even that the plaintiff was not genuinely experiencing this situation as has been represented by the court, but there was some other litigation-related reason why the plaintiff didn't want to go forward on Tuesday, I felt like I needed to hear that from the defendant because, of course, I don't know what all has been going on behind the scenes as the two parties get ready for trial.
So basically, he's saying right now, okay, I wanted to grant her the continuation based on the information that I received. But because of the logistics of this actual case and there's so much things going on in the background, I want to hear basically what Olga has to say. Do she contest? So this is when Olga has the chance to contest. And I'm going to give you my opinion, okay? She wastes her time.
So if I could maybe have the defendant's response to the motion for continuance that's been filed. Mrs. Maylova.
That's
yes,
Olga.
Sir, Your Honor. I actually upon, receiving notice of service of the motion, I have been working on putting together a motion, which I did. I wasn't able to file it before this phone call so the court, hold on a second. I'm going to make you a little bit louder on my part because the court.
Wait, so she said that she got the motion. One thing I wanted to know, when was all of this filed? It seemed like within one day. And I wouldn't think that Miss Olga had enough chance to gather up information and, present her motion correctly. Because just like when you put in a petition against somebody, your motion has to have, what you believe, the evidence behind it, show the evidence, and what you want as remedy. You know what I'm saying? You're going to see how Olga keeps going for dismiss the case, but you got to have grounds to dismiss the case. And I want y'all to hear what Olga say. Now, I'm going to just tell you right now, I just think that, anyone who has a serious case like this, I don't care if you know law, don't know law. When you see your lawyer starting to get treated like this, after this, what I read, I think Tasha K should have had a mindful conversation with her husband and said, listen, I know shit is tight, but this right here ain't right. Okay? We're going to have to do something. We're going to get a public defender or somebody, but Olga got to go. Now, I do going to have to put this on you, Tasha. I know you said something about the money and things like that, which is true. But when Olga is doing a gross mistakes like this, I was like, girl, if you don't give me back my money, I'm going to report you. She was like, you know what? I'm just going to give her back the money and get my ass out of here. She's always talking about reporting somebody. You're damn right. You're not about to steal my money. You don't even know how to file a file correctly. One motion? You ain't do the first one correctly. I ain't even get into this. I'm getting ahead of myself. But go ahead, Miss Olga. I'm sorry. Because you just acting like you acting up.
Mrs. Maylova. Yes, sir, Your Honor. I actually upon, receiving notice of service of the motion, I have been working on putting together a motion, which I did. I wasn't able to file it before this phone call so the court, hold on a second. I'm going to make you a little bit louder on my part because the court reporter was having a little bit of trouble hearing you. All right. Start over, if you would. Mrs. Maylova, my apologies. What I said was upon receipt of service of the motion, of plaintiff's motion for continuance, the defense did begin working on a motion, which I was just able to file at 1:25 p.m. That was not intentional for delay, but it was just I was working on it diligently since yesterday evening. So I would ask the court to review and consider our motion, as it does contain, our argument and objection against a continuance. And it also includes exhibits corroborating or, I guess, supporting our argument. The court, well, I'll tell you what. It's before me. I've got a copy of it. I'm going to put y'all on hold for a second so I can read it. Okay. So y'all will still be able to communicate, but not with me because I'm going to mute my microphone for a minute.
So basically, the judge said he's about to read her motion, okay? Olga.
Okay.
Shit.
So y'all will still be able to communicate, but not with me because I'm going to mute my microphone for a minute. The court, all right. This is Judge Ray. I'm back. I've read the motion to dismiss with prejudice for failure to prosecute. Number 1. I'm not even really sure that I have authority to dismiss a case with prejudice for failure to prosecute. Maybe I do, but I've never been asked to do that ever in over almost, I guess, 20 years of being a judge, 15 as a trial judge.
Yeah, because that's
But
crazy.
Even so, essentially if I interpret the motion, it just simply concludes that the plaintiff doesn't wish to really prosecute this case because she's going to be required to be here during the duration of the trial.
Yo, did you hear what she put in? Failure to prosecute. That's not what she was supposed to. Oh, damn it. Didn't they say she dealt with criminal law? That's why she got that. Okay. Oh, Lord. Okay, that was a mistake, Olga. You was not supposed to use failure to prosecute. All right. This is not a criminal case. This is not a criminal case. Okay? It's a civil case. Damn. That's why the judge said, I never heard of that in my 15 years because it don't belong in that court. That's why. Jeez.
But even so, essentially if I interpret the motion, it just simply concludes that the plaintiff doesn't wish to really prosecute this case because she's going to be required to be here during the duration of the trial. I noticed that the parties had estimated somewhere between 7 and 9 days of testimony would be required in this case. Honestly, that seems long to me, but maybe that's right.
Took long.
And that doesn't include jury selection nor jury deliberation necessarily, I suppose, even or closing arguments. So I've been assuming that this case was going to take 2+ weeks to try, which is one of the reasons that I was calling it in for tomorrow. I have another trial calendar set to begin on Tuesday of next week, but that would not have probably left enough time for the case to be resolved prior to the holiday week.
So basically he's trying to get his calendar together, and in this little section he just talks about the moving trial week probably be around November the 30th, and then he talks about going on his vacation, then he talks about and Christmas is coming. So it looks like so as I look to the future, this trial, if it does not happen this week,
would be scheduled to begin on Tuesday, the 4th of January.
And that's how the next one starts the next year. Okay, so it's not like it was a full year in 2021. It was just when she filed. I think she filed like in September or something like that. Okay.
Not happen this week would be scheduled to begin on Tuesday, the 4th of January. So we're talking about a month and a half delay from, or maybe a little more than a month and a half, 7-week delay from what it is today. Obviously, the defendant does not believe that the request by the plaintiff is genuine and cites the reasons in its motion that it doubts that it is.
It's Olga.
All I can say is I have received documentation from the plaintiff from a third-party medical provider that was dated yesterday that would document this health situation for a family member, and if true, would probably necessitate that anyone involved in this trial, if it was going on with a family member, that they not be present during this week of trial. So I guess I want to ask the defendant this question. Are you arguing that even if we assume, even if you assume that this medical situation is genuine and real, that the case should nonetheless still be dismissed? MS's may love yes, Your Honor. And the reason being is that I'm sorry. Not the defendant.
The plaintiff.
The plaintiff, knowing for months that this trial was scheduled to begin on the 9th of
That's
November,
Cardi B.
agreed to take on an entirely separate obligation which requires her to be in California, and she's been there since the 2nd of November.
So basically right now, Olga is starting to prepare her argument and saying that Cardi B is out of town. She's going to get ready for the awards, and this is why she don't really want to come. Now, mind you, there's a letter in from alleged healthcare official stating the condition of Miss Cardi B's family, which the judge is taking as credible for what he sees. Okay, I'm just
And she's going to
reading
be
it.
there until the 21st of November. So still her intent was never to come to court on the 9th of November. 1. Aside from whether or not there was or was not any medical, issue with whomever is having the medical issue, she still, is just showing through her actions that she had absolutely no intent to come to court for this trial. The court, isn't the 21st of November a Sunday? MS is Maylova, yes, Your Honor, but she's already in California. She's been there since the 3rd. The court, you're telling me she's in California today? MS is Maylova, yes, Your Honor. MS Mats, that's not correct. Your
So
Honor.
Miss Olga is saying that Cardi B is in California, and Miss Motts is saying no, that's not correct. So my thing is too. I don't know. At this hearing, I guess she didn't have to be at this hearing because this was an over the phone hearing. But listen to what goes on.
MS Mats, that's not correct, Your Honor. The court, whoa.
Whoa.
MS Mats, that's not correct, Your Honor. That's actually not correct. The court, whoa.
So basically, Miss Masters interrupt like that's not true. That's not true. And this is the judge saying, whoa. Hey, ho. Take it easy.
The court, whoa. Got a court reporter here, and even if we didn't, I don't think there's really any justification for anyone interrupting anyone else. So I'm not sure if that was Ms. Mats or Ms. Moore, but please just not talk until I recognize you. So what is your evidence if it's your position that she's in California today? What is your evidence of that? MS. Is Maylova, Your Honor, I submitted exhibits along with the motion. I'll cite I obviously didn't check this morning, but I'll cite to as late as, yesterday, November the 7th, that she was in California, based on her social media activities and the event that she's attending and the obligation that she's, the court. Wait a minute. So why don't I don't have the exhibits printed out. I've just got your motion. What social media posting would demonstrate that she was in California yesterday? MS is Maylova, just her, her stories like on her Instagram, on the posts on Twitter, husband's Instagram stories that they were at a concert that was held in California, the fact that she's attending the court, I'm sorry. When was the concert held and what specifically on Instagram shows that they were in California yesterday? MS is Maylova, if I can refer to my notes, I didn't submit every single exhibit that we have, but, for example...
There she go, right there. There go the hole. There go the fucking hole. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Right there I'm just going to tell you from the beginning, if she wanted to delay, I would have like, cool. It just give you some time to get your life together, Olga. Why the fuck you got? Because I know she like, let's just get it dismissed. It got to make sense first, though. So this right here, okay, this is basically what Olga is saying. Olga said that I'm seeing her on her stories in California. She's at an event in California. And he's like, where's the proof? Why, Olga? If you're going to submit anything, get the damn proof, okay? Because if I ain't going to tell you, I'm going to tell you some more again. All you have to do, take screenshots. Take screenshots of it. Now, if, like they said, there's certain things you're going to hear. Instagram locations can be changed, but there's other ways to actually prove that someone's somewhere. So let's just listen.
MS is Maylova, if I can refer to my notes. I didn't submit every single exhibit that we have, but, for example, on the 6th of November they were at a concert. For that concert, I googled it, and that concert was in LA on the 6th. The court, on Saturday. Yesterday is the 7th. So what about the 7th? MS is Maylova, I didn't get a chance as I noted in the motion. There was a couple of Instagram live, not live, but a couple of Instagram like 24-hour stories that. So
right here, it says specifically Saturday the 7th, she said that she was in for a concert. Olga, you should have took the pictures. If it looked like she was at the concert, go to the concert revenue real quick where it was having it. Take pictures off the website, get the link, and then get the tickets that was sold or whatever event that was sold and know that she was actually there on a Saturday. Because if you listen to Ms. Mott, to Ms. Moore, who interrupted, she said they're going to tell you that allegedly she came in on a Friday. They know. They said she came in on a Friday. Wait, I'm telling everything that's happening before it happened. But I'm just letting you know, Olga, right now, what you should have did. Okay? That's how you get your evidence together. You take the snap picture, and then you go venue, event. Oh, that's the same picture. That's where she at. Boop, 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 boop. All right, exhibit one. That's how you do it, Olga. Okay? You could have gotten her. You could get them right here. And because of this argument, no, I'm not gonna go ahead. Go ahead.
MS's Maylova. I didn't get a chance as I noted in the motion. There was a couple of Instagram live, not live, but a couple of Instagram like 24-hour stories that you post to your account and then they get to be within 24 hours that she posted and then deleted before the 24 hours was up, so I did not get a chance to memorialize some of those posts. The court. Well, so Ms. Moore told me yesterday that she, Ms. Almanzar, I'm sorry if I've mispronounced the name, that she was in Atlanta yesterday. Are you telling me that what Moore told me is not true?
Name.
MS's Maylova. I obviously have not spoken with the plaintiff. I'm going off of, looking at her social media. So I know that she agreed and she posted on her social media that she has agreed to be the host of the American Music Awards. I know that the court, on the 21st, which is a Sunday. MS's Maylova. Yes, Your Honor. The awards require at least 2 weeks of rehearsal every day, and they also require the host to go to social events and promote the event every evening, which she has been doing.
Okay, you see what she just said? This is Ms. Olga. That was a definitive sentence. That's another thing. This is the stuff that's making the judge get annoyed with your ass. Okay, I'm just keeping it real. Because you're talking, but you're not bringing no evidence. So this right here probably can be proven. Maybe they have some type of layout that stars have to do. If you know about this like this, you better have been bringing the evidence. And this is why the judge is going to respond to the like this. Look what the judge said.
The court. How do you know that any of that is true? MS's Maylova. It's just general knowledge based on previous, every year they do it. The court. So it's general knowledge that a host of the event has to have a rehearsal every day.
I didn't know that. And that's not general knowledge.
MS's Maylova. Your Honor. Yes. And in addition to that, the court. Wait a minute. Where is the general knowledge?
Yeah, like, wait.
Where do you get this general knowledge from? MS's Maylova. Well, they write articles like from previous years like, oh, such and such has been here. They've been doing rehearsals. They're, going to events in the evening to promote the actual award ceremony and, just kind of the same pattern every year from different hosts. Which based on my, what I've seen on her social media, I'm not going to say today because I didn't check today. So I can't say that. But based on the times I did check, it was consistent with going to promotional events, and getting prepared for this event on the 20th. I'm
going to stop right here. One more thing I'm going to just say to y'all. Allegedly, this is what I learned about psychology when I went to psychology class. I learned this. If a person, when you look at the right side of their brain, they're using their creative side. If the person looks to the left side, they're using their analytical side. So if they look to the left side and they talking about a story, they probably lying. The left side, they probably remembering something, really trying to analyze the facts. Another thing that I learned is that when somebody say, you get me, man. You get me, man. That's a sign that the person is maybe not telling the truth. Maybe trying to get the person to feel empathy and put your knowledge in. And the judge is going to be like, no, I don't know. I don't know. Olga. Sorry, I call you Olga. You got to learn some better court etiquette. You got to. Like, you see how I talk. I'm definitely not going to go in there and keep saying that. I was getting on my nerves on the first live. Okay? It's not how we do in court. Tasha, once you heard repetitive words over and over and over, you know what I'm saying? That's like the black guy talking about, you know what I'm saying, man? You know what I'm saying, man? She was saying to the white lady way, you know, You know, when the guy talking about, you know what I'm saying, man. You know what I'm saying. You know he's shucking and jiving your ass. I'm just keeping it real. It's the same word, but people just use it differently. You know, like the tone sound different, but it means the same thing. Okay, here go to court.
The court. So if we're in the courtroom, none of what you just said could you testify to because it is at best hearsay stuff.
Thank
And
you.
so really we shouldn't be representing as true things that you think might be true but you don't know is true. Here's what I said. I said Moore told me through her email with the court yesterday that the plaintiff was in Atlanta yesterday preparing for court when she ended up having this emergency that came up and needed to return to her home in New York. So my question is, you are essentially saying that Moore is not being honest with the court, isn't that right? 1, 2, MS's Maylova. I'm saying what I have seen and witnessed with my, based on looking at social media and reading articles from various, social media circles and magazines like People Magazine and that type of stuff.
Olga, is Tasha representing herself? Is Tasha K giving you the evidence and you taking it and running with it without you actually analyzing it against your damn legal skills? You heard what she said? Based on looking at social media and reading articles from various, here you go, social media circles and magazine like People Magazine and that stuff. I'm surprised she didn't say, I have not looked at her social media all day because I was being, here she go, the entire morning working on this motion. So I can't say on today what she is doing. This is the court now. Proceed.
The court. I'm not sure you're looking at social media makes anything true anyway. That's what you see on the internet. And when people post things on the internet, for example, about where they're located, that is easily manipulated by the individual posting stuff. I don't have any social media account other than LinkedIn, but my wife has other accounts. And I stalk friends and family through my wife's account.
You see, I believe him. He be doing stuff through his wife account. He be on social media. He gonna tell on himself, get it up in another court. He be on social media. He probably like the TikTok hip hop judge that I showed the other day over there. I be sneaking on my wife page. I be stalking people. He said I be stalking friends. I had to get on a judge.
Social media account other than LinkedIn, but my wife has other accounts. And I stalk friends and family through my wife's account and have posted things for my wife before.
Look.
And I'm certainly aware that you can indicate where you are even if you are not necessarily there, right? MS's Maylova. What
he did right here is create reasonable doubt in her argument. Okay, you're not supposed to let the judge treat you like this. Is me a lover? I'm gonna call you Olga because it's my lover. That's a nice name though. Is my lover? Is my lover? Okay. Anyway, like he said, he's creating reasonable doubt in your argument because, like he said, I even post on my wife page as her. So what he's trying to say is that other people could have been posting on Cardi B page, meaning like she could have took pictures at these places and then posted them, ahead of time or posted them when it happened, to show that she was there when she wasn't. Okay, that's what he's trying to say. Okay.
MS's Maylova. Yes, Your Honor. But this was not what I am saying is like she'll post a photograph saying with such and such person in a caption, at the British Vogue cocktail party. So then I Google what day and where was the British Vogue cocktail party held, and that's how I'm able to put together the 2 and 2. I'm not talking about looking at the location of her, of what, what she tied as her own post in. That's not what I'm. The court. So the bottom line is you don't believe Ms. Moore when MS. Moore said what she said to me, and you believe then that I guess this medical certificate or document that I received isn't really true because you don't really believe there's any medical emergency either, right? MS. Is Maylova. I don't believe that the plaintiff I believe that the plaintiff is not being truthful with Ms. Moore. I'm not saying that Ms. Moore is intentionally misleading the court, but I do not believe that the court.
One thing the court don't like when you call the other, people you're going against a lie, like the defendant shouldn't call the plaintiff lawyers liars. They don't like that because it's in the court record and then people can go back and use that. So that's why he's like, are you calling her a liar? She's like, well, it's not her being called a liar. but Cardi B could have lied to her, and she's representing that information to you, trying to cover that up, because they don't like that. They don't like it. They don't like that.
Ismay Lova, I don't believe that the plaintiff maybe is not being. I believe that the plaintiff is not being truthful with Ms. Moore. I'm not saying that Ms. Moore is intentionally misleading the court, but I do not believe that the court, Ms. Moore, knows what I know about the medical condition. I guess she could know more too. But Ms. Moore also said that the plaintiff was here yesterday in Atlanta. And you don't believe that's true, I guess? Ms. Ismay Lova, I do not. The court, that would be calling Ms. Moore saying Ms. Moore is not being honest with the court, right? Ms. Ismay Lova, I mean, I don't know. The court, there's really that has to be a yes, right? Ms. Ismay Lova being truthful. I mean, if Ms. Moore says she saw her in Atlanta yesterday, then I would believe her. But if she's saying that her client said she was in Atlanta, I do not believe that. The court, all right. So, Ms. Moore, let me ask you, did you see your client yesterday in Atlanta? Ms. Moore, my client came into Atlanta and was in my office on Saturday, even though the day before we're talking about, Your Honor. This case is so important to my client that I was going to prep with her both Saturday and Sunday, and she had booked a flight on Friday. The flight was canceled and delayed. And because this case is so important to her, she flew through the night without sleeping. She got here Saturday morning. She prepped in my...
So my thing is right here. If she said that Cardi B got there Saturday morning, Ismay Lova, Olga, said that she was out in California. And if she had proof, that would have threw that in the hole. Like real proof. But also, you're going to listen to this. The judge didn't even look at it, what she submitted. I'm giving you a head. The judge didn't even look at it. Because I think he got disgusted with the argument, maybe, the way she was arguing it. Okay? She should have said by exhibit A, 2, 3 that I submitted, it shows she was here, here, here. This is the link to the venue that hosts the event every year here. You can see by the pictures, you can see by that was what's supposed to come. If you couldn't do it in that short motion that time, then they threw you a curveball. Okay? They threw you a curveball, put a motion in the night before to get it delayed. They wasn't probably ready. But you shouldn't have did this shit. Okay? You should have just been like, all right, cool. I'm about to watch them. Okay? Now listen. This is what Ms. Moore said about her coming into Atlanta.
Ms. Moore, my client came into Atlanta and was in my office on Saturday, even though the day before we're talking about, Your Honor. This case is so important to my client that I was going to prep with her both Saturday and Sunday, and she had booked a flight on Friday. The flight was canceled and delayed. And because this case is so important to her, she flew through the night without sleeping. She got here Saturday morning. She prepped in my office on Saturday for multiple hours. We prepped for multiple hours. She went home, was supposed to come back to my office in the afternoon, and that's when the incident happened. Your Honor, I'd like to say a couple things because I find this so astounding. Ms. Matz is sitting in my office here in Atlanta just miles from you in the courtroom. Ms. Matz had a hotel room booked for 2 weeks. Our client, this case is so important to our client that her client team was here planning to stay here the entirety of the full 2 weeks. She moved her California case to be in court, Your Honor. We are ready to proceed. In fact, we would love to have a pretrial conference tomorrow.
She said, I'm ready.
And to the AMA point, I'm shaking that because this case is so important to my client that she told the AMA they had to come to Atlanta to film her promo shots because this
allegedly
was her priority. And if it meant hosting the AMAs or not hosting the AMAs, she was going to be in your courtroom, Your Honor. So everything Mrs. Maylova has said is not only false, it is unprofessional, and it is offensive because it is the absolute antithesis of the truth. My client was in my office on Saturday, and she was here yesterday until this medical situation happened, Your Honor. The court. So let me ask you about, and I don't know if it was you or Ms. Matz who was wanting to speak earlier. Was that you or Ms. Matz? And, if so, why don't you go ahead and tell me what you were going to say?
Basically, the judge started feeling some sympathy for him because what Olga is doing to a certain extent is allegedly wasting the court time in the judge's eyes because then she's not coming with credible motions and things to back it up. So she's like, you keep coming with hearsay, and we're not dealing with hearsay, okay? So yeah, now the judge is like, well, you remember when you interrupt me? What you gotta say now, boo? Just tell me. And this Miss Moore gonna say, Mr. Your Honor, I forgot. Hold on.
MS Moore. I said it, Your Honor. I
I'm just
just
playing.
wanted to let you know that we have records of Cardi's flight that was originally scheduled to leave on Friday. There are multiple
All right, but she never said that she had the flight that came in after because she said it was delayed. Then she said she only had the flight that she was scheduled to leave on Friday. Okay, I'm just listen. I'm listening to everything. Where's the rest? Where's the rest? If she came in on Saturday morning, but Miss Olga don't pay attention to that stuff.
There are multiple third parties here at my office complex, including my legal assistant, the security guard, her security team, and we'd be
Where
happy
they
to
at?
provide affidavits.
Bring them on.
Her entire team, her publicist, her transactional lawyer came in from LA. We are prepared to go. Cardi was very much looking forward to having her day in court, Your Honor, and she was committed. What Mrs. Maylova said is absolutely incorrect. Cardi was planning to be here every minute of the trial and relishing in assuring her high-profile professional obligations to be here, Your Honor. I mean, everything they've said is absolutely untrue, and I find it very alarming because this is exactly what's happened over the entirety of this case where they make statements with no basis.
You see, and that's the problem right there. I'm just gonna keep it real. We could be on the internet talking and saying this type of stuff like allegedly, but you can't go in the court talking about allegedly. The judge don't want to hear none of that shit. You better have evidence. You better have proof. You better have some case law behind it. Don't go into court with somebody who don't know what they're doing. You don't go into court, YouTubers, and think that you're gonna come in with little videos and snippets and shit like that. Third party things like that probably don't even make it just because of what he said. Other people can post it. Not only the location, people have automated posts, those type of things. So that also people doctor photos. Okay, so that's a whole nother part of investigation in itself when they deal with court trials. They even have, like I said, IT specialists that's able to say, well, this didn't come from this IP address. This is where it was printed. Da, 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 da. Just like they track me, you, him, and she. That's how they can track the picture. Okay, and that sometimes was needed in court cases to have evidence submitted. And she just gonna talk about I had saw on Instagram. That's not good enough. That's not good enough. And I think Olga knew she wasn't equipped for this case. And that's why I really think that Olga Tasha case of money. You knew. You didn't know what the fuck you was doing. I don't care. I don't care what was the less price. I understand, Tasha. I understand. Because as a regular civilian, you don't know what specialties can do with other specialties. Like, for instance, if I had a contract issue and I couldn't find a good contract lawyer, I may can deal with a constitutional lawyer. Okay, depending on the circumstances, because not many out there. But I'm just giving you an example because they may be able to understand they should know the structure of contracts through the Constitution. Okay, those type of things. So you can't just have a criminal lawyer go right into a civil case in a marriage case. No, it's not going to work. So I just really, really feel some type of way because Olga shouldn't have took the fucking case. You shouldn't have took the case, Olga. And I know you ain't make yourself better. Because you messed up. Shit, you ain't make yourself better. This wasn't publicity for you.
The court. Yeah, so, I mean, I really agree with that because we've had some run-ins already with defendants and the way you're litigating the case.
See, he mad.
I mean, look, I know litigation is not fun and I know it's often personal. But I do expect the lawyers to be professional, and to essentially make an allegation without anything more than really rank speculation is certainly not consistent with your professional obligations.
Thank you.
Is it the kind of thing that gets you in trouble with the bar?
You
I
see?
don't know. The bar is slow to move on disciplinary matters, but it's certainly not the standard that I expect people to utilize when they're in my court.
Oh, this guy, he like, is this, can I fucking tell the bar? He's like, I don't know, but the bar is slow to move on disciplining matters anyway. But he like, this can't be possibly a disciplinary matter. You're not writing up your motions correctly.
And you can't just come into court and throw stuff out there. I mean, if you don't have facts, you're not only going to not prevail, but you essentially damage your own credibility.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I look at it. Here's what I've got. I've got documentation that demonstrates a medical situation that would require really anybody to be away from this courthouse for some time to deal with. I know that if that in my family, if the situation that I read about is true, then I would be away from the courthouse as well. And, I started the discussion by saying that if it was true that this medical situation existed and was real, is it the defendant's position that the case should be dismissed nonetheless? And essentially the defendants have said, yes, that is their belief, that it should be dismissed. Well, if that is, in fact, true, then really the motion itself exposes itself to be just more about litigation and less about dealing with the situation. If the situation
He said it's just about litigation, meaning that she just putting some damn paperwork in, basically. And when you submit paperwork, that's billable hours. You did that work last night, all of this in the morning, and it was crap. And Tasha K had to pay you for it. I'm mad at you, Olga. If these lives ain't set up for anybody, gonna be over for your ass, Olga. I'm mad.
Well, if that is, in fact, true,
you set my girl up.
The motion itself exposes itself to be just more about litigation and less about dealing with the situation. If the situation doesn't matter whether true or not, then the defendants think the case should go away. Then that doesn't leave me to place really any real reliance upon what the defendants' arguments are about all the other stuff, about the delays that were encompassing, like, for example, your motion complains about the fact that the plaintiff had a baby. Okay. The plaintiff had a baby in MS. Ismailova, no, Your Honor, we did not complain about the fact. What I was saying was that we did what I was complaining for. I was complaining about the fact that she knew that she was pregnant and due at that time and did not indicate that to us when we were planning the dates of the trial. I did not complain about the fact that she had a baby. The court, okay. Well, she wasn't at the hearing, okay, when we picked the trial date. I'm not sure when I found out about it. In fact, I probably first heard that the plaintiff was pregnant through the media. I think I heard it first there, and then shortly after I heard about it, that she was pregnant, I think, when I then found that there was a motion to compel.
Why the fuck is the judge listening to the social media? Oh, y'all hear this? That's suspect. If the jury's not supposed to be listening to the social media, why the hell if the judge is listening to the social media? And why is he following Cardi B? Because I didn't even know when she was pregnant. You not even supposed to have a social media. I'm going to shut up. I just going to ask them damn questions because you're telling on yourself, sir. Okay, telling on yourself. Okay, the court.
The court, okay. Well, she wasn't at the hearing, okay, when we picked the trial date. I'm not sure when I found out about it. In fact, I probably first heard that the 5 plaintiff was pregnant through the media. I think I heard it first there, and then shortly after I heard about it, that she was pregnant, I think, when I then found that there was a motion to compel. That notwithstanding, we've got two people talking here. We've got Ms. Moore right now speaking, and we've got Ismailova and myself, I guess 3. So the bottom line is I'm going to grant the continuance based on what I know. I gave the defendant an opportunity to tell me if there were some reason why you suspected that the information I had wasn't true, and you haven't done that with the information that you have provided to me.
Nope.
And so MS. Ismailova, but, Your Honor, you said that you would review the exhibits that I submitted with my motion.
You see? And he said he ain't going why. He ain't like, fuck that. You're getting on my nerves. But this is what she said. She was like, you said you was going to look at the exhibits.
And so MS. Ismailova, but, Your Honor, you said that you would review the exhibits that I submitted with my motion. The court, okay. Well, the motion MS. Ismailova, I didn't just write this, I didn't just make this up out of my head. The court, you told me I asked you to summarize, okay. I'm not arguing with you. Okay. MS. Ismailova, okay. The court, I asked you to summarize what it was you had, and you told me. And I'm taking a member of the bar of this state for their word, that the client was in town over the weekend, and I'm relying on the medical records that I've seen to demonstrate that there is a real issue here. One, two,
Okay,
three,
hold on,
four, five,
guys.
six,
Sorry,
seven.
my eyes started
It would
itching.
be, in my estimation, an abuse, if not a gross abuse of discretion, for me to deny a continuance under that situation that would be dealt with by the 11th Circuit by reversing and sending the case back to trial. So this case is going to be continued. I'm not happy about that either. I, just finished with the trial. This is a trial that I was prepared to go forward with. It's going to mean that I've got 2 or 3 days of my schedule that I could have been hearing other matters that I won't be able to. I will be able to start another trial next Tuesday, so I won't lose all of the time. But it's not like this is the option that I would choose either, but it's the situation that we have. And so the case is MR Sabuk.
Hold on, let me see if there's anything else significant because they're trying to work out a schedule for the next one, okay? So you're going to start on the 5th between me and you. Tom, Your Honor, I just wanted to maybe like an hour or so. Can I double check with my client to sure if she's available? Hold on. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me see if there's anything. Okay, well, because they ain't arguing no more because he's just going to give the continuation. So, but otherwise, that's when our trial is going to be rescheduled to. So they rescheduled it. Let's see. Your Honor, may I ask a question? Let me see what Ms. Moore talking about.
MS Moore, Your Honor, may I ask a question, please? The court, I'm sorry. Who's speaking? MS Moore, yes, Your Honor, this is Ms. Moore. May I ask a question, please? The court, yes. MS Moore, could you clarify then, Your Honor, that you are going to deny the motion to dismiss for lack of prosecution so we then don't need to file a written response? I just want to have that confirmed on the record.
She like, do it right, Judge. Because she used to be a judge. One of them is Miss Matz. Miss Matz. She said she used to be a judge. That's what she said. That's what she said. Okay.
MS Moore, could you clarify then, Your Honor, that you are going to deny the motion to dismiss for lack of prosecution so we then don't need to file a written response? I just want to have that confirmed on the record.
She knows what she's doing.
The court, you don't need to file a written response to the motion to dismiss. The motion to dismiss is really in response to the motion for a continuance.
Duh.
I'm going to grant the motion for a continuance, and I'm denying the motion to dismiss. There are good reasons for this continuance on this date, based on the allegations and information that I've received from the plaintiff. I hear everything that you say, sir, so now and earlier I've heard everything you've said, just so you know. Okay. I can tell you we're going to have a fun couple of weeks of trial.
Look at this. You hear this shit? The judge. This the judge. This the fucking judge. We're going to end off with the judge saying this bullshit.
I hear everything that you say, sir, so now and earlier I've heard everything you've said, just so you know. Okay. I can tell you we're going to have a fun couple of weeks of trial, no doubt.
No doubt. No motherfucking doubt. First and foremost, hold on. First and foremost, I look at Cardi B on social media and I found out she was pregnant on social media. Unacceptable. There's some things in this trial that's just unacceptable. Even though Olga is a piece of crap and she fucking up. The judge is exposing who himself because he should not have this much knowledge about Cardi B. He should not be explaining that he uses his wife's social media to stalk other things. And that's a problem to me. That's all I'm going to say, okay? So you have formerly saw part 4 where Olga fucks up again, okay? Because hey, YouTubers, I think you need to watch this because a lot of your asses is being sued. Again, Tasha's going through another trial. You better not hire Olga ass because Olga is going to leave you dead in the ground. And just look at these videos. Lashley talking her shit. Love to research, love to learn. And I'm just telling you where the defects is happening in these trials. So you get your knowledge. And when you got your lawyer over there, responding to the cease and desist, you say, hey, this is the problem. This is the evidence. This is the remedy. The evidence has to be based on facts, not assumption, not alleged, and definitely not no damn Instagram posts. Okay? Love you guys. I'll see you next week.
Answer, because you are that. You are capable. You are gifted, and you are so unique. All of the things that you may hate about yourself are your strengths. It's okay to be soft. It's okay to be opinionated. It's okay to be different. And it's so okay to just be. The world awaits to receive you.
The real estate market often seems like a distant world where only an elite of experts is successful. In a time of so much uncertainty in the air and bad news, real estate investing can seem intimidating. But today, I want to tell you that if you make the right decision today, you can enter the real estate market from the back door. Bad credit record? No credit at all? Do you dread the idea of having a home loan? Do you dream of owning investment properties? You are in the right place and right time, because we have created a program which is a tax lien and deed investment online course of only 14 hours. This course is specially designed for people like you who have big dreams. You will learn at your own pace and everything from your home computer. This is your chance. Join our membership for $19.99 a year. What are you waiting for? Visit our website primetimehomebuyerBuyback.org and sign up today for course access.